Happy Wednesday, everybody. Chaos. Wednesday chaos. You know what? I just realized I've streamed 3 days in a row. How about that? That's not usual. We're doing a Wednesday stream, but we did a Tuesday stream and a Monday stream, and here we are, and I'm so happy to be here. Sorry for the little snafu at the beginning. Comrade Sammy picked up on it. So the way that the software works, if I have another browser on, the browser sound is looped into a specific channel. It's just technical gobbledygook. But if I don't have that browser muted, you guys will hear the audio. And so what was going was we were getting a loop back of the broadcast audio of the intro and the browser audio, which is slightly delayed. So you were probably hearing for the first minute of that intro video, the browser audio overlapping and kind of delayed in it, which is why it sounded crazy. I didn't have my headphones in because I was kind of getting stuff ready. And then when I heard it, I was like, uh-oh. And then I muted it. So hopefully it fixed. I think that's what it was. But sorry. Good thing it was early on and not later. But so good to see all you guys jumping in here like crazy. Hit that like as you enter the door of my world. Definitely hit that like. It's been an awesome last few days just hanging out with you guys more and more. Yesterday's stream is going gangbusters on YouTube, which is exciting. Like, it's gotten way faster views than any of the other Master Study streams I did. And as many of you guys who were there noticed, we had quite a few of new people show up. So something was going right with that. Some algorithm thing was working well with that. So yeah, let's keep it going. I don't know if it's the frequency or just, you never know with these kind of things. So I was just really psyched to see it do well. Get a lot of likes, get a lot of comments. 95% of those comments were Cranberry and Langers. But get a lot of views too as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of that and joining in. And thank you for coming back for another one. Here we go again. Another stream. Hopefully you guys don't get tired of me. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the comic fun. Boy, did I have an adventure today, and part of it has to do with it's the reason why I'm streaming a little later on a Wednesday than I usually do. Usually I stream probably about 2 hours earlier than this. But I had such a wild journey today, and I will go into that. But I want to just say hey to the chat first before I get too far behind. Mr. Monkey Boy, first in the chat.
How do you say monkey in French?
Howdy do, Mr. Monkey Boy. Good to see you. Then John, shortly after.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
Emo Trash isn't too happy with me right now, but she was in the chat, early in the chat. Emo Trash, hopefully your disappointment just has to do with how late I'm streaming today, interrupting your homework time, I think. You said I saw later in the chat you were washing your hands while the intros were going on. Yes, I will explain why I'm a little late today. Katie in Florida, still in Florida, hanging on to Florida.
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No, a cup of tea.
On her way back home to the UK, Katie, hanging out in the airport. We can give you some entertainment while you sit and wait for your flight, to board your flight. I think you have, if I calculated correctly, you probably have like a half hour before you board, maybe. That's a little creepy that I would know that, but how are you doing? Are you ready to go home? I saw your video that you posted, I think it was this morning, of the sunrise. Beautiful, beautiful, serene scene. I'm sure you're sad to see that go, but hopefully the good memories of this trip will last you until you come back again. But it was great to have you on this side of the world. Who else? Yeah, Katie's in the airport right now. Emo Trash, she's going to put her inking on hold for this. Timmy Mello in the house.
And the Guardians are headed to October!
What's up, Timmy Mello? The Guardians are headed to October in your heart. I don't know. Is that too painful? Do I need to change that for you? We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. I know you're a Guardians fan through and through, so we're gonna keep it. Who else have we got in here? Everybody, welcoming everybody. Such a welcoming bunch. The intro was manifesting my energy. Your doubled up crazy energy. Poor Mike has a long drive home. Hopefully he won't be stuck in traffic. Maybe Mark can listen while he's driving home. Sometimes I do that. I listen to streams. I can't really participate in the chat or I'll crash my car. But sometimes I do listen to streams while I'm driving. So hopefully Mark can do that. I had this hunch when I was kind of calculating hours. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to lose Mark and Katie because of the time I have to stream. But anyway, hopefully he can catch a little bit of it. Bon voyage, safe travels, Katie at the airport. No, it wasn't you, Comrade Sammy. It was, oh, Comrade Sammy. I am so sorry, Comrade Sammy. I missed your sound earlier, but no, it was seriously buggy. It was bugging out, and thank you for noticing and letting me know. Chat box is missing besides the video for me. Probably you two making changes. Or maybe you accidentally closed it. I've done that before, John. I'm like, where's the chat? And then I realized that I accidentally closed it. So that might be it. Don't know. Awesome One's here. Dude Squared. What's up, Awesome One?
Yes! That's awesome!
Good to see you. Not so late today. Chaos ain't the half of it. 3-day Rocky, John says. That's right, 3 days. Maybe that's why Emo Trash isn't happy. Too much Rocky. Too much Rocky. I'm sorry. The ink on my knee is just going to be there till I shower tomorrow. Oh, goodness. That's okay. We don't see it. We can't see it anyway, so that's all right. Just finished some Burger King. Burp. Ooh, I need a burp sound effect. That would be a good one. That would be kind of annoying, but kind of good. I'm going to write that down. Burp effects. That's the way we make this channel better. Burp effects. Love it. I didn't even get it all off my hands. Crap is... You know, I got... when I burst that ink bottle, one of the ink bottles that I bought of the Kohinoor ink, it spilled on one of my favorite shirts, a light colored shirt. Most of the shirts I realized in my wardrobe are dark colors. 90% of them are gray or black with some crazy character on it or some logo. But I happened to be wearing one of my favorite white shirts that day, and that ink got on it, and it ain't coming off. It's really sad. So I lost that shirt. Ink is really potent. Chat Ninja's not distracted. Awesome One said he promised his brother to go, so I also got some. Oh, Burger King. Got it. Nice. You can't not get Burger King if you're already there, right? Gothic starts again. Is she stream in the evenings? Which would be the evening her time now? Does she stream in the evenings? Huh. Ooh, Emo Trash says Granny can wait. How about that? Take that, Gothics. Waiting for this one. Uh-oh. Gothics at Berkeley. Oh, did I see that advertisement? Which that's my coast. Dang, I should go see it. Darn it. Oh, well, missed it. Cup of tea. Katie's going back to the homeland of cup of tea. Emo Trash took Monday stream personally because I was literally at the last red light before turning onto campus. And last red light before turning onto campus when we streamed. Sorry. I'm sorry. So you got started at a time I knew you were going to be done before I got home. Oh, I gotcha. You know what? I'm making up for it this week. I'm making up for it. We're streaming a lot. I will probably stream definitely one more time, if not twice, before the end of the week. So it's a full week of Rocky. Get used to it. No, don't get used to it because I couldn't keep this up. But enjoy it. Enjoy it while it's here. Yes and nope, I don't want to go. It's okay, Katie. I get it. Timmy Mello is still healing. Oh, yeah. takes a while. It takes a while. I've been there, dude. I've been there. What time does your flight leave, Katie? I think she said it was like 7 my time, so 4 East Coast time. I'm sorry, 7 her time, 4 my time. I'm not sure. Hyper Wizard is also in America. Don't know who that is, but welcome to America, Hyper Wizard. Rocky, you cannot change for Timmy and not cherished. That's true. That's true. I couldn't do that. That would be a slippery slope if I all of a sudden change sound effects. So I think we're good, right, Timmy Mello? I think we're good. But yeah, that would be a slippery slope. Hello to MMO if you're out there. 7:30 p.m. to Atlanta. All right. Yesterday, still couldn't catch him because he never streams on Tuesdays. So I had my... Well, you're here now. Wednesday, you're ready for this, right? Just a little later than normal. You're here now. Too much Rocky doesn't exist. No, it does. Talk to my wife. Atlanta is the lamest airport in the world. Really? I don't think I've been to the Atlanta airport recently, so I don't remember it much. San Francisco airport, can't come by here next time, Katie. San Francisco airport is really beautiful. It's a beautiful airport. I don't like Atlanta airport, so maybe we've gotten some confirmation there. It's not too good. There's been too much Rocky in my absence. Yes, John. You've got it right on. I only said burp on stream, but in my mind, I was thinking both. It's not true. Emo trash. Don't take it so personally. There we go, awesome one. Who needs sound effects when you have awesome one in the chat? How long is the drive from Mark's to there? I don't know. Let's see. I kind of know where Mark is, and I don't know. What airport did you leave from? Was it? Yeah, I don't know what airport's closest to you, Katie, or closest to Mark. Just tell them you ate Mickey Mouse. Someone get some Pepto tablets in the chat, and quickly. I'm not sure, but the traffic was bad. Hopefully he should be home reasonably soon. He may be listening in the car. There's definitely going to be protesters at the Berkeley event for sure. I'm actually curious to see what her commentary is in the chat, on her channel once she's done with this Berkeley visit, because there will for sure be protesters there. That's what Berkeley does. They just protest. What's up, Cranberry Langers?
This is a cranberry full of power.
Long time no see. Wait, you're an uncle again? Like literally an uncle again? Does that mean your sibling had a kid? If so, congratulations. That's amazing. Unless it's some sort of like code for something, but hopefully it's literally an uncle again. If so, congratulations. Amazing. Gothix rarely streams evenings or weekends, but it does happen. She's flying out to wherever Berkeley is. Berkeley is in Berkeley, California. Just across the bay here. So you've heard me talk about like Oakland before. It's very close to Oakland, right next to Oakland. You just got to cross the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm sorry, not the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge. And you're in Berkeley. UC Berkeley, the hub of just like Nobel Peace Prize educators. It's a very, very, very good school. The Cal Bears, that's Berkeley. But they're also known for being very liberal, progressive, and they just protest everything. Protest every war, protest every issue. That's just Berkeley's thing. But very good education. Very smart people go there. And they have a lot of great speakers that go there and talk from both sides of the aisle or both sides of an argument. But yeah, there's lots of protesting going there all the time. On top of these massive discrepancies, man, Emo Trash, you do have a list. I've been struggling through a sinus affection. Can't breathe without sneezing myself into the next life. Sorry to hear that, Emo Trash. Hope you feel better. Yeah, sinuses, I've never had sinus infection, but I've heard they're painful. I don't know if a neti pot. I think a neti pot. I remember when those things were all the rage. People would swear by them. And I get like seasonal allergies. That's about as bad as it gets. I do have slight allergies to cats, but more seasonal allergies. Sometimes they can get bad, but people were like, "Oh, you got to use a neti pot." And I tried one once, and it was the worst thing ever. I felt like I was drowning. So I don't know. Some people swear by them. All right, let's see. We started using ink in class now. Nice. Monday was our first day. There we go. Didn't mind it because we were just drawing the model and silhouette. Nice. That sounds good. That's a good thing to be excited about. Decongested sinus headache meds from Walgreens seem to work. Nice tip there. When I get off this plane, I'll no longer be Katie. So sad. That's this plane. I gotcha. So sad. Say too much Rocky doesn't exist. That makes it true. Don't argue. Here we go. Man, Emo Trash, you're a roller coaster day. Now I have grievances with ink because it's no different with my prior experiences with paint. So now I am annoyed. Dang. It's okay. Get it all out. We got you. We got you, girl. We got you. It's all right. It's a safe space here. You can gripe. I'm going to give you another sound effect just for the fun. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay because we're going to be talking about comics today. Oh, I will let you guys, once I catch up, I'm almost caught up here. Once I catch up, I'll let you know my whole adventure today. Why I'm streaming late. But yeah, it's been 3 days. Yo, Unhinged. What's up, Unhinged? You are on my next list to get a sound effect for. I know what I'm going to do. I just haven't done it. But what's up, Jason? How are you? Speaking of a person who streams a whole heck of a lot, Jason, Unhinged. Check out his channel if you haven't. Subscribe to it if you haven't. Jason does all sorts of stuff. He does solo videos of himself drawing. He was drawing a really cool Batwoman just the other day. And Jason, I love your commentary on your videos. They are so relatable, man. Like you're just like, whatever. You're just kind of talking off your head, off the cuff, and I love it. They just always make me laugh. So awesome solo videos of him drawing, and then he streams with a whole bunch of people. I can't even keep track of all the people you stream with. But sometimes he's drawing, sometimes he's talking, sometimes he's ragging on his friends, talking about pop culture. It's really fun. So subscribe to Jason's channel if you haven't. Good dude here in the chat. Emo's on drugs. Oh my gosh. Not a code. Uncle to a new kid. Awesome. Congratulations, Cranberry. They're first. Wow. That's amazing. It's really fun to be an uncle. Let me tell you, I am an uncle. Really fun because it's kind of like what I imagine grandparents a little bit different, but you can be the cool uncle. You can be the cool uncle that introduces that kid to like comics and movies and fun stuff and like spoils them, takes them out to Burger King, like Awesome One, all that kind of stuff. A couple summers ago, my nephew came up and he stayed. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mute my notifications. But he stayed with us for a couple weeks, and we just happened to be traveling both to Tahoe, and then we took a trip to Disneyland. And so it was this epic trip, and it was a perfect time for him to be here because either that or he's going to be left at home alone. So we said, yeah, he could come up here, and he stayed with us. He's really close to my kids, and it was just so much fun, and we just got to spoil on him and just get to know him. And so look forward to being the cool Uncle Cranberry because we had such a great time with my nephew. So really fun. Emo Trash, doped up to high heaven. Mr. Monkey Boy calls it Hippy Dippyville. Possibly, yes. Infection. I had a sinus infection led to ear infection jumping from one ear to the other. Sounds absolutely horrific. Unhinged at work saying hello. Yeah, they'll protest Gothics no matter what. I wonder if it'll show up in the news. It probably will. Let's see. Gothics walk away will be tomorrow night. Okay. I'll try and check it out tomorrow, Thursday night. I think I can check it out. Unless I'm streaming, huh? It might happen. Also, one said he's used a neti. It's nasty, messy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it. I gargle hydrogen peroxide. Ooh. Isn't it supposed to go in your nose? I guess your sinuses are connected. Ugh. Yeah. Who's going to put me up next? Katie says. Maybe I can tour America via the YouTubers. That would be amazing. I'm sure you're not the first, but that would be amazing. Random McRanderson's in the house. What's up, Random McRanderson? He was here yesterday, I think the day before, when you want to paint, but you're out of gessoed wood panels and you don't want to sand anymore. You show up. You show up in the chat. What's up, Random? Good to have you here. That sound effect has never been a greater representation of my life since Sunday. Mark's music obsession is still driving, possibly stuck in traffic. The gang's all here. What's up, Mark? Don't get into an accident. I'm sure you are frustrated being in traffic, but at least we can give you a little bit of audio entertainment while you sit, stop and go. Katie's giving you 5 stars, man. 5 stars for your trip, for your hosting. Well done, my friend. Now you're going to get a lot of requests for people to do the same thing Katie did. So get ready. But good job. Awesome to see that you guys had a good time. And it was wonderful to see your pieces of your home through Katie's eyes. It was really awesome. And we do hope Maggie is doing better or stabilizing. You had shared with us on Monday that she was dealing with some pancreatitis. So yeah, prayers up for Maggie, Mark's dog, cute little pup. We've seen a little videos of her there. I saw her in your boat. Yeah, I hope she's feeling better. I really do. I was just ranting about my friend Lang. I was just ranting to him about the pet insurance this morning because I dropped some stuff off at his house, and yeah, it just made me think of Maggie again. But yeah, hope she's doing well. Jason, can you put you up in his corner office or basement? Nice. Awesome. One has no basement. Random McRanderson says, being an uncle. Here's being an uncle. Hey, kid, here's some cool shit. Have some sugar. Let's go be crazy for a while. Okay, now back to your parents to deal with it. Exactly. It's exactly that. I think grandparents are kind of like that, but grandparents maybe have a little bit more responsibility taking care of the kid. But yeah, as an uncle, you're like, whatever, dude, eat dirt. Here's a Slurpee. Let's drive 100 miles an hour. I am not streaming from my basement. Stop it. Awesome one. That is not what's true. Katie had a master bedroom with a balcony and ensuite at Mark's. Jeez. That's living right there. Oh my gosh. Gotta go. Have a good stream. Thanks, Cranberry. Have fun. Congratulations to you and your sibling for their new little bundle. Congratulations. You'd be getting a lot more to say out of me if you skipped the stream tonight, because then you would have had to convince me you stood me up the one time. No, we are here for you. I'm almost there. Almost to the end. All right, here we go. Here is what... I'm not going to even click on that link, awesome one. I'm going to let the chat do that on their own. I'm not going to click on that. I'm afraid to click on that. Who knows what's going to come out of that? Okay, here's what happened. So my Wednesday comics day, right? New comic book day. I knew where I was going. There were some books that I had put away in my subscription box that I knew was coming. So for example, no spoiler, Rook Exodus is one of the books that came out today. Rook Exodus 6, I believe. We'll take a look at it. But I knew it was coming, so I knew I was going to the one store that I have my box at, Comics Experience. But then I knew that other books which I didn't have on my pull list were coming out as well, such as Absolute Wonder Woman #1, which there's a lot of hype around, and coming off the trails of Absolute Batman #1. I was very curious about that one. Probably going to pick it up. So it's like, okay, well, I can get it there. I could get all the books at the one shop. But then yesterday, I saw on Instagram the in Invisible Jet Comics, which I had spoken or told you guys about, one of the local stores here. I'm friends with the owner, Chris. Super sweet gal, and she just celebrated her 1-year anniversary of her store. But on the 1-year anniversary, there was a fire in the building. There wasn't a fire in her store, but in the building. And so when the sprinklers went off and they had to put out the fire, or not the sprinklers, when the firefighters came and put out the fire, some of the water came into her store and damaged the store. So long story short, she had to close it, and she's been closed for a couple months now, I think. And it's been super sad. And I got to visit her, while she was closed, just talking with her. And, it's going to be a long journey to like get the store back up and running, but she's determined to come back bigger and stronger. So yesterday on her Instagram, she's been posting regularly on Instagram just to keep her presence known. So what she did, she would just do pickup times at the store, very limited times for people to come and get their books. But you couldn't walk into the store and buy books anymore. You just had to have a subscription. So yesterday she posted and she said, we are temporarily moving our store to another location on the same block. And we'll be there for, I think, 13 months temporarily. Come visit. I'm going to be open tomorrow, which was today, from, whatever time. I think it was like 11 to whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to go visit Chris and see how things are going. So I went to the first store. Okay, there's another aspect to this story. And it's actually interesting in a sense, just about the idea of store hours. So the store that I do have a box at is called Comics Experience. They open on Wednesdays. They open at 10 a.m., which is great because you can kind of, if you have the time, you can get there early, get your books, and have the rest of the day, as opposed to most of the stores in the city open at either 11 or 12 p.m., which is like, oh, okay, you got to wait. And for me, because this stream is tied to the books, and when I get them, usually the 10 a.m. time works for me better because then I can stream, around 12 or 1 o'clock my time. So, but I wanted to go visit Chris today, and I thought, how appropriate, the name of her store is Invisible Jet Comics. How appropriate would it be if I bought the new Absolute Wonder Woman #1 from her? Because I didn't have it pulled on my pull list. I was going to buy it from whatever store I was going to go to. So I got my books from my pull list at, this is so complicated, at Comics Experience. I got my books there, and I saw another book, which was not on my pull list, but I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But but Comics Experience, God, sorry, I just keep thinking of the layers of this. This is why it took me so long. Just to give you the short story, the TLDR, I went to 4 comic book stores today. So I went to Comics Experience. I got my books that were on my pull list. I saw another book, which I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then in my mind, Comics Experience, they don't really have back issues. They only have back issue graphic novels. They don't have back issue floppies. And I don't know if you guys remember, one of my Wednesday comics, there was a book I was picking up called Venomous, Venom War, which has Black Widow and her Venom symbiote. And I picked up issue 1, and then I picked up just last week, I think, issue 3. And I'm like, wait, why is it issue 3? How did I miss issue 2? Sure enough, there was an issue 2 that came out that I missed. Comics Experience doesn't keep back issues of floppies. And so I was like, well, who keeps back issues of floppies that might have this book? And Amazing Fantasy, Frank's shop, he carries back issues on a different shelf, on like the main shelves. So I was like, okay, I picked up my pull list books from Comics Experience, and I looked and I was like, the other store that carries back issues, floppies, is Mission Comics, which I don't go to Mission Comics as often. Great store, but it's a little farther from me, and it's also harder to park in that area. So I was like, well, I could go to Mission Comics after Comics Experience, but I was at Comics Experience so early. Sorry for this explanation. I was at Comics Experience so early that Mission Comics doesn't open till 12. So I had like 45 minutes to an hour to kill. So I was like, well, I'll swing by Frank's shop and go to Frank's shop, and I will pick up this second book that I wanted to get, which I saw at Comics Experience. I said, Frank will have that book, and I'll look on his shelves for this Venomous book, Venomous #2, this back issue. So I went to Frank's shop, and yes, he had Venomous, Venom 2. I was so excited. I had one copy left, and I got it. And I went to go get the other issue of this new book that I was looking to. I don't want to spoil it, so that's why I'm not telling you the name. And then Frank had it, but Frank carries... I'm just going to quit the stream. This is too much information, but I just got to get it out. This is my therapy session. Frank had the issue of the book, which I'll talk about in a second, but he had only variant covers left. He didn't have the original cover. And I would have bought a variant cover, but the variant covers were either $1 to $2 or $3 more than the original cover. And they weren't that cool that I was like, well, I'll just spend that extra money on the variant cover. So then I was like, well, I have now 2 issues of something I want to get. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get Absolute Wonder Woman #1. I'll get that from Chris's store, and I'll get this issue of this other new book at Chris's store. So it'll be 2 for the price of 1. Support her store. Awesome. So I looked at my time, and it was already past 11 because Frank opens at 11. So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to swing by Invisible Jet. So I went to where Invisible Jet is, which is about 15 minutes away, parked, walked in. She was just in the process. Her and her husband were moving boxes into the store. They had one shelf set up of some new books, but nothing of this week really was out. And I said, oh, hey, Chris. And, just saying, hey, how's it going? I was like, do you have I was like, I want to hear to support. So do you have Absolute Wonder Woman #1? And she was like, we haven't unpacked that box yet. And I was like, oh, okay. And then all these movers came in and they were moving in like equipment. And I could tell she was just super busy. Like they're just in the middle of moving. And, it's just a lot going on. And I didn't want to be like, well, can you open the box for me so I can buy it from you? So then I looked on the shelf. Absolute Wonder Woman wasn't out and she didn't have it out. And the other book that I wanted wasn't out. And I didn't want to stick around. So I was just like, okay, I'll catch you next time. And she was like, okay, bye. And so I was like, I still didn't have those books. So then I was like, well, I can go back to the first store I went to, Comics Experience, or I can just make it the quadruple home run of comic book stores and go to Mission Comics. And so that's what I did. I went to Mission Comics. I picked up Absolute Wonder Woman #1, an issue of this other book I'm about to go over. And that's my story. And that's why I'm late to streaming today. It's kind of crazy. I know. So I'm really sorry, but it was a little nutty. I need to save my battery. I'll drop in out where I can. That's okay, Katie. I'll still be talking about my journey when you get back to the UK, but have a good trip. Hope you're well. Everybody taking off. I'm talking too long. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was crazy. Timmy Mello felt really bad for her. I'll go back and visit her for sure, but it was just like bad timing on when I came and showed up, but at least I got to see her. That was one thing she said in her Instagram post was she really missed seeing the faces of people that just walk into the stores and stuff. So I just wanted to pop in and say hello. Story time with Pappy Groomsman. That's right. That was the craziest story. I'm sorry. It was adventurous. I mean, it's a beautiful day and I had the time, and what better way to just visit all the stores? I mean, I could have made it even more and visited a couple more stores, but I got what I needed. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But it's interesting to think about like how opening times make a big difference. And also whether or not you carry back issues, not even like old back issues, but just like back issues from a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks back. And whether or not you carry variant covers, because that all affects like where people will want to go for to pick up their books. So like, for example, the first story I talked about, Comics Experience, where I do get my pulls, or most of my pulls, they don't carry variant covers unless you ask for them beforehand. So you can't just sift through and look for any variant cover you want, and you have to think about it early on. Frank's store, Amazing Fantasy, and Mission Comics, they carry variant covers to varying degrees. Frank probably has a smaller inventory than Mission Comics as far as carrying variants, but and he has pretty avid collectors that come, and so those variants go pretty fast when New Comic Book Day is. Mission Comics hangs on to them a little longer or has more inventory, but then it's a harder store for me to get to, and the parking around there is really tough. So all these different factors just make it crazy. And then when you're like me and you kind of want what you want, it sends you on a rabbit chase all around the city. That's why variants exist. Yes. Mark's getting home. All right, Mark. Nice. That's it. I'm spoiling the story. I don't know. This is my channel. I can yap if I want to. $12 worth of coffee. Yeah, exactly it. I don't even want to look. I had to pay for parking too at some meters. I don't even want to look at how much parking I've had. That is totally it. You just summed up my day. It has been a week. Got last week off this week. Yeah, it's usually like that. I feel like it's going to be like that for Katie too when she gets home. She's been relaxing this whole time, and she's going to get back into the grind when she gets home. Carry on. All right, I do a lot of planning for work. Then it comes time to buying comics. I don't want to plan. I just want to go and spend $50 and get whatever. It's true, right? It's like you do, and then you just get in your head. Like, I could have bought these variant covers, just spent a couple more dollars, but I was like, it's not the one I wanted. It's not the cover I wanted. So yeah. Sometimes that stubborn collectorness of me gets a hold, and then you just can't let it go. And I was like, I could drive to the fourth store. I could do it. And I looked at my time and I was like, all right, let's do it. I would have been really angry if I didn't get the books I wanted to at the last store at Mission Comics, and then I would have had to circle back to the first store. That would have made my day suck. But because I got everything I wanted, and I found a couple of extras at Mission Comics, some surprise extras, which I'll show you guys, it was worth it. The journey was worth it. The intent was worth it. And it was great to see all the owners of the stores and yada, yada. It was fun. So anyway, that's my day. And now we will talk about the books. That's what it's all about. I ain't doing all that now. Ain't none of y'all need to hear my voice. I grant y'all mercy on that. All right, I'm going to start in kind of a weird order. This was at Mission Comics. So Mission Comics, like I mentioned, they do carry some back issues. They have these cool little spinner racks where randomly they'll put back issues out there, like stacked in, and you kind of have to dig through them. It's fun. And I found this issue that caught my attention. Wait. Oh, no, I'm live. Caught my attention. It's an old issue. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. And the reason why I grabbed it, and it's nice, they bag and board it too for you, which was cool. The reason why I grabbed it is because it's got this artist, Bart Sears. If you guys remember Bart Sears, I had reviewed a couple of his books or looked at a couple of his books. He did this Brute and Babe stuff, like the king of anatomy, king of like stylized anatomy. He had done like how to draw in Wizard magazine, these how to draw things with Brute and Babe. And so he came out with his own book, Brute and Babe, these characters, and made a story around it and released it under this imprint called Ominous Press in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'd say. And yeah, so, but he can draw like really cool, super dynamic anatomy. So yeah, I saw his name here. Bart. I saw what grabbed my attention was this cover, which I thought was really cool. And then anytime you see like this defined kind of almost sinewy anatomy, it's like, oh, it's got to be Bart Sears. I know many of you guys know Andy Smith's work. Andy Smith worked very closely with Bart Sears on a lot of his stuff, and so yeah, there's a similarity in both of their work. I'd say like really good with comic book anatomy. So yeah, I love this cover, and then the inker was Randy Elliott. And Randy Elliott's a good inker from what I remember, and he's worked with Bart Sears before. So I just grabbed this book based on the cover. And it's Batman, so I was like, okay, cool. And it's part 3 of 3. They didn't have 2 or 1, part 1 or 2. But, you know, I thought, cool. But one thing I noticed as I flipped through it right before the stream and I was looking through it, there's something muddy about the printing in this book, which surprised me because, like I said, Randy Elliott, I feel like is a really good, clean inker. So I'm wondering if it's like the printing process. Everything, it almost looked like they printed twice the black and whites, and so it kind of bled a little bit, but everything looks really kind of muddy-ish. But look how like jacked his Batman is, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there just wasn't this like from what I remember Randy Elliott's inks, I believe he's a brush inker, and he had some great finesse in there, and he worked with Bart Sears before, so it's not like he didn't know how to ink him. But yeah, it just looked really munchy to me, which was a little disappointing. But it was fun. I love, almost as much as I love picking up new books every week. It's almost more than I love picking up new books, is I love just digging through back issues and finding new things. This is classic. Bart Sears just like, I can draw the male torso. And I know I had talked about Daniel Warren Johnson yesterday and how many panels, or no, Monday, how many panels he crammed in a page. But look at this. It's like almost too much. This. Yeah, I don't know if Bart Sears is the greatest or the right fit for a Batman artist. Like his Batman's just super jacked, like just flexed all the time. This is classic Bart Sears, these like folds near the pecs. Always does that. But yeah, this is like total roided out Batman. Anyway, fun little find. Wasn't that expensive. I mean, for the most part, back issues these days, it's not like a huge market, and that's why a lot of comic book stores don't carry back issues anymore, because they don't make much money off of them. But it's just so it's really great for somebody like me who loves digging through back issues. It's like I don't end up spending that much money on things. It's just a pain because you can't get a full run of things all the time. You know, you just get one issue here and you're like, oh, where did the other issues around that come from? So I don't know if I'll hunt for 1 and 2, because 3 is like, it's all right. And if 1 and 2 is like that, it's okay. But I think my favorite image is this cover image. It's pretty cool. So there, Batman Legend of the Dark Knight, Bart Sears. And then I picked up this guy. Let's see. Emo, do a counter stream. Awesome one says. Emo could write a strongly written letter to Jesus about you're gonna be fine, Emo. I can go back to my project for the moment, at least till I find something more to say, because Monsieur Ballesteros ain't getting a break for avoiding me for 2 days in a row. I did not avoid you. It's just bad timing. I like Bart Smear's Unhinged. Look at those lines on Silhouette Batman. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I noticed that. It's like, that's a lot of effort. Just black it out, man. I noticed that too. Yeah, that's a lot of effort to draw. And they're not ruler lines either. Timmy Mello. I'm sorry, Random McRanderson. They are hand drawn lines because they're not all even or not all straight. Yeah, lots of lines. Feels more of a tune than a comic, probably because of the illustration. Yeah, I don't feel like he's totally a fit for drawing Batman. I don't mind Jack Batman. The business might be due to the writer. Depends on how much direction on layout. True. Yeah, very true. I mean, from Bart Sears' work and on his own work, that Brute and Babe, I don't feel like, I wouldn't classify him as like a master storyteller. Like there's some comic book artists that are great illustrators, but they're not so good at storytelling. Or there's some that are great storytellers and they're not that good at the rendering. Or you get somebody who's good at both. Like I think Frank Miller's like that for me. Or so yeah. And then it depends on, are they writing it themselves? Is it another writer? Like you said, like maybe the writer is just giving him way too much information, way too much dialogue or beats to fit on a page, and he's just having to cram it in. So yeah, you never know. But I find that Bart Sears is better. Like his super strength, I think, is anatomy for sure. Like in the understanding of anatomy and drawing heroic anatomy, and then maybe his storytelling is a little bit under that. Maybe Bruce Wayne is just proud of his gains, and the only time he gets to show them off is when he's in the bat suit. She's a little pointed today. Back issues were like 10 to 20. Like 10 to 20 where discount bin was $1 or more. So yeah, I mean, these back issues I can get for like a couple bucks, $2 or $3, which is pretty affordable. If I'm lucky, yeah, you can get back issues, $1 bin, even less. Frank has a bin in his store that's like quarter bin, which I'm always digging through. So, yeah. Rocky's explanation of why he was delayed today was longer than... Touche, my friend. Touche. Okay, so I got this book at Mission Comics too. So I got that Bart Sears Batman. And then I got this book too. I actually had bought my books. And then I was walking out. And Mission Comics, again, this is kind of cool. And take note, future comic book store owners, but they have a rack that's right by the door of used graphic novels. So you see it when you come in and you see it when you go out. And I am constantly looking at that rack and just checking. And most of the time I go, it's always the same. But every now and then, 5-10% of that rack changes depending on the week. And so I'm like, ooh, and I find something new. Comics Experience also has a used graphic novel rack right by the door, which is great. Frank's Amazing Fantasy, they have used or back issue boxes towards the middle of the store, kind of where you get your new issues as well. So it's kind of cool to think about like the positioning and the placement of where they put these things, because it really affects what your customers do and the flow of traffic and whether or not they'll sit down and buy something. So for Mission Comics, I already bought my books. I was walking out. I looked at the rack and I'm like, oh, wait, this is 50% off? And so this is Kelly Jones's, Doug Mensch, Kelly Jones, John Beatty's Bloodstorm story for Batman. And I believe part of this is included in the artist edition, Kelly Jones artist edition of his Batman work, which I do not have. It's definitely on my list of artist edition books that I want to purchase in the future. But it's funny because when you talk about somebody who's casting an artist for a particular character or a book, Kelly Jones cast to draw Batman brings out this aspect of it, brings out the horror Dracula vibes to Batman. He's really creepy. The way he draws Batman is really creepy, always in shadows. And in this particular story, there's like a vampire side to it. So that, that adds to the whole thing. He's really pushing that. But Kelly Jones draws his cape. His cape is like 1,000 miles long and is just a million folds. This is his Joker, which is super creepy. And I feel like he's referencing that actor that that Bob Kane originally referenced when he was creating the Joker. I forgot what that old silent actor's name was. But yeah, really creepy stuff. Kelly Jones has like a Bernie Wrightson influence in his work. So lots of dark shadows, lots of cast shadows, lots of dramatic lighting, and just grotesque anatomy. And his Batman is just a freak of nature. It's like more of a creature than a human, which is kind of cool. So I like his Batman better than Bart Sears. But it's also a little bit more monstrous and a little bit more creepy. But, it's a fun aspect to kind of explore with Batman. So yeah, I've been more in tune to, or not more in tune, more attracted to Kelly Jones's work now than I have been in the past. And so when I saw this on the rack, I'm like, oh, cool. Like I don't have this, and I haven't read this story either. So I was really, really happy to find it before I'm able to purchase that artist edition. It was gross stuff here. Guy just bit his face, literally bit his face off. It's cool though. Look at that face. That's an awesome face right there. He's got this like cartoony. It's interesting because you can tell that he uses reference to look at for realism, like in the folds and in the lighting. He must be using some sort of photo reference, but he exaggerates it and he adds a cartoony aspect to it. So it's this pretty cool mixture. And then you add into it Batman. Like his Batman has ears that don't end. They go on for days. And like as a kid, I never was into it because I was more into like the superhero Batman. But now as I'm older and I appreciate his work more, I really like this creepy, horrific Batman. It's gross. Really gross right there. So fun. And then John Beatty, for those of you who remember John Beatty Inc., he's a super prolific inker, very worked in the industry a long time, still works in the industry. And he inked both Mike Zeck and Michael Golden, who I did those master study pages. And those particular pages, he was the inker on those pages. So I have an affinity for his stuff. It's cool to see him on Kelly Jones's work. Is that Resrain? What's Resrain? Who's Resrain? It's one of my favorite artists. Is Resrain the artist? I don't know, Unhinged. Maybe Kelly Jones is one of your favorite artists? Yeah. I could see that in your work. I can see the influence. He's great. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it. And he just recently released, I haven't bought it yet, the Dracula. He did a Kickstarter. Kelly Jones did a Kickstarter with Matt Wagner, who's the creator of Grendel. Matt Wagner was the writer and Kelly Jones was the artist on a Dracula book. And it's a multi-volume book. They just released volume 1, or they Kickstarted volume 1. And now they released, I've seen it in my local comic book store, like a comic book store version of it, like one you can buy in the comic book store and don't have to crowdfund. And then volume 2 is being crowdfunded right now on Kickstarter. So if you like their work, pairing up Kelly Jones and Matt Wagner on a Dracula story is like the perfect combo. And I flipped through it and it's really good. So I'm thinking I want to pick that up too, but now that I got this, I thought, okay, it'll appease my Kelly Jones fix for a little bit. This is a weird shortened hand here. So like you can tell he's like photo referencing here, but then he has these very cartoony takes on it. So it's this cool mixture. But he has nice, great lighting on his stuff. Batman's default is always in the shadows. Yeah. The Man Who Laughs. That's right. There you go. Thank you, Timmy Mello. The original movie that they got the idea, or they got the idea or feel or look of Joker that turned into the Joker. The only thing that stops him from being straight up villain is the fact he chooses to jump criminals instead. That's right. Batman is such a complicated character. What? Oh, you mean by the time that I'm streaming? Got to get changed for the gym. Have a great stream later. I'll see you later, Jason. Thanks for coming. Other than sore muscles, how are you, John? Oops, catnapped. Wow, Mr. Monkey Boy fell asleep already. Dang. Anyway, cool. Look at this cool Batman right here. I feel like Jason Pearson was looking at Kelly Jones too. Because there's some, like this pose for sure reminds me of Jason Pearson's stuff that he's done on Batman. The feathering, the pose, the face. Yeah. I saw a great interview yesterday on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. I think this might be Catwoman. Crazy. Look at this Alfred. Amazing. So cartoony. I saw this YouTube video on the Body Bags Artist Edition that they're releasing. They were interviewing Scott Dunbier and Kevin Gardner, who's a friend and worked with Jason Pearson and a couple other people. But it was pretty cool. It's on the Near Mint Condition YouTube channel. For those of you who are interested in that Artist Edition, check that out. Hello, Batman. What's going on here, dude? Yeah, I feel like they're referencing like Dracula movies, and it's fun. This is really fun. This feels like a Jason Pearson drawing. Yeah, he must have been referencing Kelly Jones. Some of his exaggeration. It's creepy. Really creepy. You guys know I don't like horror. It's just feasting on Joker here. Oh, what is going on with this story? Oh, I guess they just killed Batman. Well, that's depressing. So yeah, this is an Elseworld story. Batman. Look at how many muscles he has here on his leg. It's outrageous. All right, so I picked this up off the back issue rack. All right, here is Venomous #2 to complete my set. It was a 3-issue story for this whole thing. So I'm psyched that I don't think I would have ever found this, because it's not like this was popular. It's not like it was hugely popular or doing well. So I don't think I would have ever found this middle issue, and that would have driven me crazy to not be able to understand what was going on in the story without this middle issue. And I'm the kind of person too, like if I have piecemeal issues here and there, I'm kind of a completist before I'll sit down and read the story. So there's a few things I have where I have like 3 out of 5 issues of a run, like either a story arc or a book, and I will not read any of the issues until I get the whole run. Like there was a whole thing of Infinity, like it was with the Avengers and the X-Men, I think. Just Infinity. It was called Infinity. And great art. I think it was written by Jonathan Hickman. Really great art. Jerome Opeña was one of the artists on it. And I think Dustin Weaver too. Both Super phenomenal artist. But I'm missing the last issue. It was like a 6-issue series, and I'm missing the last issue, and I refuse to read the other issues. I'm still on the hunt for that last issue. Anyway, the art was what got me excited about this book. That's cool. That's a cool face right there. So it just seems like more of the same. I will finally get to sit down and read. Oh, here, the symbiote came out by herself. Yeah, I really like this artist. I don't know what else he's done, but his art on this series has been great. And I think they should just keep doing this. Like, that's cool. It's a cool design. That's cool. There we go. Out of order, but issue 2 of this weird thing that I'm tracking, and then I already have this issue. So I'll read it and let you guys know. But I found it. This was at Amazing Fantasy, the last one on the rack. God bless Frank for having it. Venom War, Venomous number 2. Oh, yeah. It's pretty gruesome, pretty gross. Kelly Jones will go there. He for sure is a fan of horror. And I mean, if you see his work on this Dracula book that he did, like he's like in his element. So it's very cool. But yeah, he's a big fan of horror. But he does get pretty explicit with those drawings. Welp, in the end. More like Vamp Man, that's right. That was fantastic in my opinion. Emo Trash is in on it because it made me suffer. Read a little comic, read a little chat, read a comic. I talk so much at the beginning. I'm just trying to catch up on the comics. But here I go. I will read the chat now. Glad that his comics are giving him just a little bit of hell. I'm not getting all the way through. I'm choosing to be petty for the night. Awesome One likes it. He likes the stabbing and face ripping offs, and it's like shredding chicken. Awesome One does that a lot. I'm reading Petty Night, free character for you, Emo. Sinus crap is slowly trying to develop into a cough. Oh, take some meds. That's some people, like I know Shelby streams, even Jason when they stream, sometimes they're like, we are ignoring the chat. I'd never do that to you guys. So take that as you will. Issue 2 of The Moon is Following Us. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rossmo, Mike Spicer's The Colorist book. First issue was great. It's a 12-issue series. And the first issue was great. Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rossmo are they're both artists on this. What it looks like is Daniel Warren Johnson is drawing the quote-unquote real world, and Riley Rossmo is drawing the fantasy world or the virtual world or alternate reality world. They haven't totally explained it yet. But the story is, I don't want to spoil it so much for you guys, but it's basically like a parents trying to help their child story. Their child is sick, and they're doing everything they can to try and save their child. And what it looks like is they're traveling to another universe to save her. See, and Daniel Warren Johnson is drawing the regular normal world, but it's the real, like, everyday life kind of stuff. And man, that's a powerful panel right there. Oh yeah, so it looks like he drew a lot of this because they're still in the real world. And Riley Rossmo is like this stuff. Wow. This is a heavy story. From the first issue, it's really heavy already. And the amazing thing that he's capturing, it's so relatable, is the relationship between the parents. They're struggling and their kid is hurting, dying. I'm not exactly sure what is the ailment, but they're struggling, and both of them are dealing and handling the anxiety and the trauma differently. And they illustrate that and show that in how their characters are in this alternate world. It's brilliant. And we've seen that. I mean, you see that in like, it's kind of like your classic like Wizard of Oz, like where there's parallels between reality and fantasy, but it's awesome. So yeah, I enjoyed the first issue a lot. There's a lot of cool characters, great designs. Here's Riley Rossmo's art now, because they just transported themselves into the world. And the colors are fantastic. Mike Spicer, same colorist on Transformers, and all of Daniel Warren Johnson's stuff. These crazy, like, pig goon characters. It's great. Great designs. Really weird, unique designs that Riley Rossmo's doing. So yeah, I don't know. It's like a virtual reality or something going on here. And wow, that's awesome. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So yeah, this came out fast. I mean, the first issue maybe came out, yeah, I guess a month ago. So maybe they're keeping a month schedule on this. This is Daniel Warren Johnson's book, Space Mullet, Do a Power Bomb. And I did see Extremity, the book that I got the artist edition, or what do they call it? Signature edition. I did see that book at Mission Comics today, and I was so close to buying it at the hardcover, but I said, no, Rocky, down, boy. Already spent way too much money on comics. Stop it. So maybe I'll get it next week. All right, here we go. Emo trash is being fueled by hate right now. Choose to give up on the ink endeavors for the night. It's good enough. Good enough. All right. There's always tomorrow. Rocky is following the pros and ignoring the chat. Yeah, that's all the cool kids do. They ignore the chat. Nah, I love the chat. Chat's so fun for me. John hates it when the moon follows him. We've been having some really cool moons, full moons recently. I never took a picture of it, but yeah, really bright full moons. I'm on 2 different meds, Emo Trash says, but know what bottoms up. But know what? Bottoms up, IG. Sure, I can find something around here. Bottoms up, IG. I cannot translate that. I guess? Bottoms up, I guess. There, maybe that's what it. I choose to give up on the ink. Oh, yeah, I got that. Are you getting loopy? I'm probably annoying because I'm having to produce more value in it than comic lines. Maybe I should work on them, though. Good idea, John. On the shoes? Yeah. Incredibly impressed that none of the ink has bled through the pages I've done thus far. Well, it depends on the paper you're using. There is good paper for ink stuff. The smooth Bristol that I use for the Master Study pages is really great for ink. But there's all sorts of different kinds of papers that take ink super well. I remember as a kid when I started, like when I was young and just drawing and wanting to be a comic artist, I would just, ink on like typing paper or bond paper, and I would use whatever pen I had at the hand, and sometimes some of them would bleed, some of them would bleed through. It was a mess. Didn't realize like, oh, supplies matter. Cheap paper ink. Speedball ink's pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of a standard. So yeah. There we go. IG. Remember the time, John, when you'd give me these translate the abbreviations for me? Those were the days. But I got it, I guess. I just got it confused with Instagram. What good is a comic collectible if you cannot purchase it? If it exists, it must be bought. Yes. It's true. It's bad. It's really bad. I guess. There we go. I'm just using the paper I've been using for class. Currently, I'm using the sketchbook I've had since my first semester. Yeah, sketchbooks can be, dare I say, sketchy. Because you never know what, like, they try and be generic for any kind of medium, but you should look, if you can, look at what medium they are made for. Certain sketchbooks will say water media or paints or pen and ink or whatever, and it makes a difference. And I know sketchbooks are just meant to be just like disposable, and you're just, you know, on a whim drawing whatever in pencil or whatever tools you have near you, but it does matter, and it does make it more enjoyable. Like when I do zoo sketching, I make sure I have a certain kind of sketchbook that I bring, because I don't want all the washes or the ink lines to like bleed through and make a mess and, you know, ruin the page underneath it. Hate that. So I've been meaning to go to the zoo. I should go because it's been beautiful these last few days, and I should go. Maybe I should go tomorrow. Maybe that could be one of my streams. Punniness is contagious, apparently. It is. It's good. You got to be careful around me. I'm all about the dad jokes. I'm all about those bad puns. I live for those. When I mean Instagram, I will always say Insta. Okay, that's what the cool kids say, Insta. The ink has most definitely warped the paper the same way watercolor does, but it doesn't bleed through. Yeah, it shouldn't warp. I use, I think the sketchbook I have for my ink stuff, like for the zoo, I use this, it's called a mixed media page. And here it says, ideal for wet and dry media, heavyweight dual surface, erasable. And so it's great because, well, that was my first page. That was my drawing of Marty, which it doesn't look anything like Marty. But it's really nice because it doesn't bleed through. So you could use the other side if you wanted to, just as sketches go. And it takes, like I used water here, and it takes it well. It doesn't warp the page. Feels like it's much thicker like watercolor paper. But it's not as thick as some watercolor paper. But I like it. And if you're going to use ink or any kind of wet media, I would recommend it. I hate my sketchbook pages if I use like watercolor or wet media, that they warp like that. It just kind of makes it crinkly, and then, yeah, I don't like it. Go to the zoo. That is Berkeley. No, there's San Francisco Zoo. Berkeley doesn't have a zoo. There is an Oakland Zoo, though, and Oakland Zoo is actually way better than the San Francisco Zoo for whatever reason. It's a cooler zoo. They just have better exhibits, and it's not as run down as the San Francisco Zoo. So I should go to that one, but the San Francisco Zoo is really close, and it's like a 3-minute drive from my house. I can even bike there. And I've got a membership, so that's why I go there. Yeah, Rocky, go to the zoo and join your people. Emo trash. That wasn't nice. It's funny. That wasn't nice. We'll play this for that.
How do you say monkey in French?
Mark's music obsession. I finally sat down. Would have loved to hear the comments about Katie's trip. Traffic was insane on the return home. Easy to the airport. It was just like we were just saying how Katie seemed to have such a great trip. And it was, I'm sure, 99% because of how well you took care of her. What a great host you and your mom were. And she said she had a master suite with an ensuite bathroom and I think a balcony she had mentioned. Like, that sounds incredible. So you better be careful, Mark. I was saying earlier that you're going to start a trend of people wanting to visit you and stay at your house, like an Airbnb. Make a business out of it for YouTubers or something. John, John doesn't show chat. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm just using what I've got to get through the semester for sake of saving costs. Yeah, I hear you. It was just my 2 cents on sketchbook paper. Boo, Rocky didn't get that Berkeley is a... Oh. Gotcha. It's a psychological zoo. It's a political zoo. I highly doubt I'm going to pursue ink beyond the classroom anyway. I'm sorry if I ever gave you that impression that I was nice. You're nice. Emo. This chat family is welcome always. Awesome, Mark. All right, here we go. Here's a new book. I heard this book was coming out. Why? Because it was coming out the same week they announced the Body Bags Artist Edition. So they were taking these two characters, Mac and Panda, are characters from Body Bags. And it's kind of cool because they took the characters that Jason Pearson created and did a crossover with these characters, Hack and Slash, who I don't know much about. I know they have many volumes of comics. I've never read them. I think they're more along the horror kind of violent genre. But I've heard of them before, but it was kind of cool that they're crossing them over. And I'm always down for Body Bag stuff because I love Jason Pearson's work on it. But it was kind of serendipitous. I don't think it was planned that it was launched or that this book came out the same week they were announcing the artist edition for Body Bags. So I saw that was released. I didn't see it on the rack in any of the stores. And then when I was leaving Mission Comics, I remembered it. I was like, oh, yeah, because I saw a book. I saw a volume of Hack and Slash on the bargain rack. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was looking for that Body Bags book. So I asked Leaf, the owner of Mission Comics, I said, did you guys happen to get the Hack and Slash crossover? And he said, you know what? I did. I got one issue and it's one copy and it's on the bottom shelf. Like, how do I describe it? He has a wall of his books, the new books, and they're on a shelf rack, like, I want to say 4 levels high with the books facing out. And then at the bottom at the rack, he has this little shelf that he just kind of lays out a bunch of books like stacked like, oh, hang on, I got to go back. Stacked like this, just out. And it's kind of cool because it's this psychological thing where you like see the books you want. It's clear which books you want. And you go pick it off the rack. But then when you see this pile of books just there, you're just like, oh, and you start rifling through them. And I don't know what books he picks to put down there. Maybe the not so popular ones or whatever. But he was like, yeah, I got one issue and it's at the bottom, like in the pile. And I found it, sure enough. I just realized that I skipped over a book. So weird. But I'll go back and go over that after this. But anyway, Hack and Slash, Body Bags. I have no idea anything about this book other than Body Bags. The colorist, if I'm not mistaken, color by Kurt Russell, not the actor. I'm pretty sure he has a YouTube channel because I've seen some streams of somebody coloring this actual book. And I think it's this guy, Kurt Russell. I think. Let me look. Let me look at my subscriptions really quick. Yes. Okay, so his YouTube channel is called Color with Kurt. Wow, he has 68,000 subscribers. That is awesome. But he's a professional comic colorist. And right now, when he goes on stream, he colors this book. So it's kind of cool to see it in real time being colored and then for it to just be launched here. Wow, that's cool. 68,000 subscribers. Holy cow, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing a lot of things wrong. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know anything about the Hack and Slash world or the Hack and Slash characters. The story with... that's pretty funny. The story with Body Bags is that's their profession. They're called body baggers, and they're pretty much assassins for hire. And this guy, Mac, is the father of Panda. He was like one of the best body baggers, very violent, like just horrible guy. And his daughter, he had a daughter with a woman. They never introduced her at all, but I guess he ditched them and he left them. And then his daughter grew up and she wanted to find her dad and be like her dad. And so she has these innate abilities to be just like this crazy, violent hitman, just because she's his daughter. And so now in the miniseries Body Bags, she comes into his life, and he reluctantly accepts her and trains her because it's his daughter. And so they become this partnership of assassins, but they're always arguing with each other and yelling at each other like a dad and a daughter do. And so it's kind of this reflection of daddy-daughter dynamics, but take place wrapped in this assassin's world. I don't know the story at all about Hack and Slash, so I'm assuming there's partnership there, and probably they're assassins or hired guns or whatever, and these two, they're all going to cross over into each other. Let's see. Maybe like 12 hours or so. YouTube has to process it. Oh, for the comments. Yes. To go back and watch the comments from the beginning. Yes. It does take a while. It takes about a day for it to get processed, depending on the length of the stream. Hippie Zoo. Can't go to the zoo. I'd get mistaken for a wolf and Are you that hairy, Timmy Mello? Is that it? Or do you walk on all fours? What's going on there? Replays don't have the chat. That's what I was saying to John. Yes. Our zoo got number 1 somehow. Really? Number 1 zoo in the country? Which one is that? Let us know. Love zoos. I know the San Diego Zoo is really cool. You're not in San Diego though yet. Awesome one, right? How the hell did I get ink on my arm? I'm always like that. I'm like, where did that ink spot come from? Replays do have the chat replay too. Just takes YouTube time to put it up. Yes. Oh, really? I didn't know it was based on the size of your stream. So like for big streams, it's immediate. Wow, that's cool. It's racist. No, Rocky, why didn't you tell me this stuff was even more invasive than glitter? No, it's not. It's not. I'm glad she enjoyed it. I'm determined to get a group of us together for a meet and greet, maybe around an event like Pensacon. Doesn't have to be around an event, though. That would be fun. That would be totally fun. Comrade Sammy says she'll come visit you in Florida when she has the money, Mark. Yeah, that would be awesome. At least the ink is easy to watch out of the brush. Do you use a brush cleaner? Brush cleaners work pretty well. Mark's music obsession says he has a room for a few at once, especially if people would be okay to share a room. Could have even more. That's awesome. Wow, look at this. This is cool. And now that I just called out that colorist stream, I'm kind of looking at the colors. Closer at the colors, though. Yeah, this is how Mac is. He uses knives. He's got this cool, happy-faced map. Jason Pearson was such a great designer. He's got this creepy, happy face mask. And there's a lot of things that are reminiscent, or that are paying homage to the original Body Bag series. This is him flipping off a light with his knife. Them driving in this car, the Cadillac. I think it's a Cadillac. Them driving in that car. Oh, not a Cadillac, but driving in that car. Oh, this guy is awesome. He's kind of like the Joker meets a crazy cross-dresser. I don't know. He's one of the main bad guys in the Body Bag series. I thought he was dead. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. This is Hack and Slash. There's body bags. Very cool. Matador by Brian Stelfreeze. I have this series. Amazing. Brian Stelfreeze was studio mates with Jason Pearson. It's kind of cool. Like Jason Pearson, when he was alive, he started a Kickstarter for a new body bag series, and I backed it. And this was like in 2000. I want to say 2019, maybe even earlier than that. And I backed it, and it never came out. And a lot of people were angry at Jason Pearson for like not fulfilling. And but he kept, and you kind of got to know through that campaign and just the updates that were happening, and just word on the grapevine was that he was struggling a lot with like mental issues. That interview that I talked about earlier on Near Mint Condition about the Body Bags Artist Edition, where they were interviewing Kevin Gardner, one of Jason Pearson's friends and coworkers, he was saying how Jason Pearson was such a perfectionist and he just struggled with like getting things done because it was never good enough. But everybody was like, it's so good already. Like you're just on another level. And so, but he struggled a lot with stuff and he had a lot of demons he was wrestling with. So, anyway, that campaign never fulfilled. But now that this new campaign has launched that Kevin Gardner is spearheading with Scott Dunbier's company, they basically said, if you backed the old Kickstarter campaign, which never fulfilled, we want to honor that. And so however much money you put into that, we will put it towards your contribution to this new campaign in honor of Jason Pearson's legacy. So I thought that was really awesome of them to do that. They didn't have to do it. It's like crowdfunding is a risk, and it's pretty clear up front that they don't have to deliver on what they say they're going to deliver on, which you don't want that to happen, but it could happen. And in Jason Pearson's case, it did, because he passed away and he couldn't finish the book. But I just love how they were trying to appease the fans and just kind of honor Jason's legacy and the people that were supporting it early on by allowing our contributions to be used towards this new campaign. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I am all in on backing whatever it is he does. So this is pretty cool. I'll read it and see. I like the art. It's not Jason Pearson, but it's cool. And if the story's good, I'll keep picking it up in honor of him. All right, Hack and Slash body bags. I'm glad I got that. That was the only one issue. It's not very. I can't imagine they had a huge print run on it. So I'm glad that one of the 4 stores that I toured today had it. All right, werewolf joke. John has dibs on whichever room Katie was staying in. There are girls out there that are bold enough to yell at their dads? Yeah. In that comic there is. But they take it to the extreme, and so he's literally like punching her into walls and shooting at her, and she is trying to she shoots him. She actually hits him in the original body bag series. He's wearing bulletproof armor, but she actually unloads a gun into his chest. So he takes it to the extreme. But that's their relationship. It's this I want to kill you, but I love you relationship, which is, we can all relate. We can all relate to that. Got it on my knee. I don't know how you're drawing, Emo Trash, but anything is possible. If you work hard enough, anything is possible. That's what my parents told me. The big streams used to take a long time too, but a few years ago, YouTube changed it. All right, cool. Or not cool. We just got to become a big channel so that we get quicker processing. But it's not too long. Yeah, like you said, it's probably like 12 hours or something. Just about a day is when I can see the chat from previous streams. Oh my gosh. Invasive ink. Sargon of Akkad just said UK is toast. Oi. Wow. You lost me on that one. I don't know, John. Can you translate that? That's a stretch for me. Is it backwards? Something written backwards? I can't even. Cranberry Landers is back. What's up, Cranberry? Yes. Yes. I probably got a lot more poison in my system than just ink. Yeah, with all your meds. Lurking. Reminds me of the pumpkin masks from Halloween. Yeah, they're creepy, but it's... I showed you guys a little bit, but it's just... He's so... Oh, look at that Jason Pearson drawing. Man, so good. And I love that she has the happy face in her headgear, head beret. But he is just so imposing and so threatening. Here we go. Here's his knives. And there's their car. And to see his face behind that smiley face is, yeah, look at that. So crazy. It's creepy. So good, the design. Here's where she shoots her dad. Right there. She just unloads it. It's awesome. I can't wait for this artist edition. Go back at you guys so that they can hit their... I don't know if they've hit their funding. Let me look. I don't know if they hit their funding yet. They were close yesterday. They are 39,000 and the pledge is for 45,500. Go back this book if you love it, because I want to get it. I want to make sure it happens. It'll happen. But yeah, go back that book. You're going through hack and slash right now? Just that crossover, hack and slash body bags. Yes. Look at Rocky's shirt. It's a pumpkin. No, it's not. It's my Skywalker Ranch shirt. It's red. Curse of Perfectionism. Yeah. I think there's more going on than that. Like, he had a near-death experience, which really kind of screwed with his head, I think, from what I've heard. So yeah, there was a lot. But yeah, like John is saying, Artisan Demon seems all too common. It's true. And he kind of had a lot of those demons that would come out. Even when he was alive, you could kind of see it, like on social media and stuff. He would lash out and people would kind of attack him for certain things, for his content, stuff that he's drawing, and he would lash back out. So he was a spicy dude. But it's sad. It's sad that I don't know the exact details of how he passed away, but I think it was a health related thing. I'm not 100% sure. Perfectionism just leads to loneliness. Yeah, and you'll never be perfect. You'll never get there. And if you think you will, I mean, that endless chase, yeah, that's what'll drive you crazy. Yeah. Take some tea, emo trash, some calming tea. Oh, apple cider. Okay, that's good. That's good. Earned it. Kill la Kill. It does have a Kill la Kill feel to it. I love Kill la Kill, the animated series. I'm pretty sure Body Bags came out before Kill la Kill, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were influenced by Body Bags. They did this really graphic, like cool angles, and Jason Pearson himself was influenced a lot by manga. I know that he referenced a lot of like Battle Angel Alita as far as their action sequences, and you can see it in his work. He was one of the first that I saw in comic books that started doing like feathering in action for American comic books. During the action sequences, he'd do like a lot of feathering, as opposed to just action lines in the background. Let me see if I can find a good example. He was such a great storyteller. Yeah, like this feathering here. Let me zoom in. Like this stuff, totally influenced by manga. And he did it so well. But to see like it done for like a Western book and in this very graphic style was so cool. There's the dude. Look at that face. Look how graphic that is. Amazing. Man, I love Jason Pearson stuff. And they shared some black and white pages during that interview, and they're stunning. I cannot wait. All right, Rook Exodus. One of my favorites from Ghost Machine. Wait, we got an update here. Rocky, Maggie is improving now. Will hopefully continue her recovery. She has a follow-up on Friday as long as nothing goes wrong sooner. Yay. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm glad the treatment is working. It's true. That's true. You guys are speaking other languages here. I don't understand. UK has been toast since Gamergate 1. Sargon of Akkad is a UK stream talking about pop culture and later politics. Oh, thank you. Saying UK will not return. I gotcha. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Wow, I'm so uncultured. Did you ever get locked up at Skywalker like Sheldon did? No. Skywalker is amazing, but no, I did not get locked up there. Fighting with demons is just our sparkle. That's a good way of looking at it, I guess. Tea still has caffeine, Rocky. Some teas do. Chamomile doesn't. I don't like chamomile, but it's supposedly calming. Mint tea, maybe, Emo? Yay, we're all glad Maggie's doing better. 21st century social justice warrior with identity confusion. Ooh, boy. Yeah. I just like comics. Thanks, John. I have been super worried about her. Yeah, we know, Mark, and I'm so glad that she's doing better. It's a tough one with pets. Just pure love. Those little buggers. I love that she loves riding on your boat too. That she's like not afraid of the water. There we go. Emo trash. Calming down a little bit. Carl Benjamin. Wow, you guys are totally schooling me on, or teaching me about all this stuff. Sargon of Akkad. Okay. Dare I open that can of worms? Dare I look at that Pandora's box? Hopefully I can sleep better tonight. Oh, what are comics? All right. Rook Exodus number 6. Here we go. This will make everyone feel better. Rook Exodus number 6. I read on social media, I believe this is the end of the first arc. Not the end of the book, but the end of the first arc. There's one comics YouTuber, his name, I don't know what his name is, but his channel is called Comics Are Dope. Fun YouTube channel. And he was at the New York Comic Con and he interviewed Jason Fabok. Fabok, I think is how you pronounce it. And talked about Rook Exodus. And the funny thing that it was a short interview, but the funny thing that he had mentioned was he wanted these helmets and the character designs, the costumes to be so cool and, you know, different and unique and distinct. But then he realized after he designed them and after issue 1 that like it's so hard to draw and that he would be trapped into drawing them forever. So he kind of shot himself in the foot. But I think it's amazing what he has done and kind of what he's created with this series. That's great. Such a cool pose, cool weapon. And I think this is the big conflict with Ursa, the bear. Do I want to spoil this? Hopefully, if you guys don't want this to be spoiled at the end. Wow. It's great. Fighting in the Rain. Beautiful colors by Brad Anderson, as always. Love this like purpley rain feel, and then next to this warm interiors. Great. Great colors. Looks like Rook Exodus. Rook is getting the snot beat out of him. Of course. Of course. Here come the crows. Aha. So he's been struggling with connecting with these crows. He kind of hates them, but it's part of his power, part of his helmet power or whatever, to connect with these crows. And he's always hated him, and the crows kind of hate him. But of course, poetic justice. After he loses his helmet, they come and save him. Wow. Ouch. Snapped his hand there. They broke the panel and broke his hand. Very cool. I didn't even read it, but I know what it is. That's awesome. Crows. Look at that huge, huge machine. Speaking of which, this reminds me, they just released images of the Batmobile from Absolute Batman, because it'll be in issue 2, I think. And it's a dump truck. It's pretty much a dump truck because he's a construction worker, but it looks pretty cool. It reminds me of the Cybertruck. I mean, it doesn't look like the Cybertruck, but every time I see a Cybertruck, and I don't know if they are in your guys' neck of the woods, but there's tons of them here in the Bay Area, obviously, because of all the techie people here. But so many people hate the Cybertruck just because it's obnoxiously large and just looks so weird and different. But I actually really love it. I really love the design. It reminds me of a DeLorean, but like jacked up. And so the responses I've been seeing to the Absolute Batman Batmobile, the dump truck, reminds me of what people say when they think about the Cybertruck. Maybe that was intentional. Holy cow. Next chapter of Rook Exodus coming in 2025. So I guess they're taking a break. That is so awesome. I love it. This series is great. So cool. Coolio. Ghost Machine, killing it. Rook Exodus number 6 is out. Go grab it. Epic end battle between Ursa and Rook. All right, here we go. 2 more books. You guys still with me? You spoiled this already. Did I? Did I go through that already? Sargon of Applebee's is another title he goes by. Oh my goodness. What is this? What is this you talk about? It's so foreign to me. Streaming now, he also runs Lotus Eaters channels. Look up the podcast of the Lotus Eaters if you want a good news source featuring Carl. British. All right. Will do. Lotus Eaters, Sargon of Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. All right. We'll dip my toe in there and see what happens. You don't like chamomile rock? I don't. I feel like it tastes like drinking wood. I don't like it. I like a good mint tea. Love Earl Grey. Any black teas I pretty much like. I like a good red tea. Rooibos tea I really like. There is now a little bird. All right, maybe Louie could help you out. Hiding behind a screen, peeking around. That's cute, right? Timmy Mello loves the rain effect. Yeah, that's awesome colors. Crow. Well done, awesome one. That should have been the title of the book. Crows Before Bros. Love it. Saw a Cyberpunk. It looks like the design is backwards. Oh, Cybertruck, you mean? The design is backwards. Yeah, I could see that. Several of those trucks in my area. Nice. In Florida. Okay. I know there's some in Texas too. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it doing better in those states that have wider roads and more roads to travel. California, I mean, at least Bay Area. Yeah, Bay Area is really congested and it's hard to drive around. So every time we see it in the city, it's like, where are you going to park that thing? Like, but who cares? You just press the auto park and it'll find it for you. I love them. And it's funny because my daughter was telling me that all of her friends hate him just like she does, but all of her friends' dads love him. So maybe it's a middle-aged guy thing. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Blade Runner sued Elon for remaking art from the film. I know, seriously. He just propelled us into Mad Max by designing those cars. Take pics of them. I doubt they will be around for long. You think, John? I don't know. Emo Trash found a Cybertruck on the way home from church. It was even worse than usual because it was painted for some... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like it when they do that. I've seen one that was... So they have that like brushed chrome look, right? I've seen one that was like polished chrome. So it was like reflective. It's kind of cool. But I can imagine the fingerprints being horrible on that. I've seen some that are matte black, so they look almost like stealth Cybertrucks. And I have seen some that are like wrapped in advertisements and stuff, which doesn't look good at all. Taking out the trash with fighting crime with that new Batmobile. Yeah, that's right. I know it. We see you, Emo. We see you. No worries. We forgot how much a normie Rocky is. So sweet. What? Seriously? Okay. Okay, let's see. Lotus Eaters also covers comics and comic characters. Okay. All right. I'll have to check it out. Lotus Eaters. And Carl. Whatever. Carl. Don't say it. Benjamin. Got it. Rubios. Is that how you pronounce it? Rubios? Really? Huh. Okay. Rubios. Darjeeling. Oolong. I do like oolong. Sometimes. Not all the time. I'm not a huge... I mean, oolong's not green tea. I'm not a big green tea fan. Like matcha. I feel like matcha's like... Yeah, I'm not a big matcha fan. Darjeeling, I'm not sure if I tried Darjeeling. I just know of it from the movie. But oolong, I do like oolong. I do like a good rose tea. Rose is good. Lychee tea is good as well. Bunch of geeks on their channel. They just reviewed Batman Forever, the movie. That's cool. Okay, I'm going to have to check it out. Drink wood. Sargon simply is the example of the matured former secular edgelord who's now in fear of the societal monster he and his nihilistic peers help create. Goodness gracious. Sometimes people are coming on to YouTube for like philosophy lessons, I feel like. And I'm just looking at comics, so yeah. I don't know. Why you got to talk about Jason today? Still hurts. Much love, brother. I know you know. God bless. What's up, Shanthan Jetty? I haven't played that in a while. How you doing, Shant man? I'm talking about Jason because Jason is amazing. And he needs to be remembered for all the incredible comic art that he put into the world. And I love that this artist edition is coming out. I love that people, when I hear people talk about his work, these people that were interviewed have the same admiration and love for his work and just know what a genius he was and how he just operated on a different level. What he was doing was so different and so unique and so mind-blowing, and those people recognize it. So I'm glad it's not just a niche thing that like us dorks enjoyed and nobody else appreciated. But he was truly an artist, and I know it hurts. Shant had the opportunity to meet him and work with some of his studio mates. So I know it hits deep for you, but we can just continue to honor him and strive to be as good as him. That'll never happen, but you know what I'm saying. R.I.P. Jason Pearson. Everybody's saying hello to Shant. Shant's the best. Hail Shant and Jetty art. One here has a total body wrap. Looked terrible. The Cybertruck, yeah, it's not meant to be. It's the equivalent. I'm gonna step on some toes here. It's the equivalent of getting a phone case on an iPhone. So much is put into the design. I've said this before. I know I've said this before on stream. I say this to my kids all the time, to my wife. I say this to everybody all the time. So many genius designers slaved hours and hours away, months, years of their lives to make the perfect phone design in aesthetics, in functionality, in size, in weight. And we go and like pay $1,000 for it and then snap on a $35 plastic case on that thing and make it look horrible. So I feel like the Cybertruck's the same way. Like, people work so hard to make it look crazy, apocalyptic, and then for you to slap on a full body wrap that says "Eat at Joe's," it's not cool. It's not cool. So don't do that. Stop it. Shant drives a Cybertruck of love. He does. He does. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Yes, love it. Comics philosophy with Rocky. That wouldn't go that far. Go to Shant's channel if you want comics philosophy. Shant will give it to you straight. For me, I'm just like, this looks cool. Or this is ugly. All right, here's a book I picked up. This was a book that I didn't know I wanted to get. And then I didn't get at the first store. And then I went to the second store and they only had variant covers. This was the one I was talking about. Green Lantern Dark. I really love this cover. I love the standard cover A cover because of this design. Just grabbed my attention. Like, okay, just from the title, Green Lantern Dark, so it's got to be a darker theme, whatever. But this design with this like cloak was like, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I started flipping through it. And immediately the artwork made me think of another book. And I was like, why does this look so familiar? And I remember that, well, it reminded me of the artwork from Something is Killing the Children. I read the first volume of that series. There's several volumes of that series already out. But this artwork reminded me of it. And sure enough, this is the artist. I'm pretty sure this is the artist that drew Something is Killing the Children. But here's the Green Lantern design for this book, which is kind of cool. It's like, it looks like a Reaper a little bit. Creepy cloak. With this like hook and lantern at the end of the lantern is at the end of this like cane. And like, look at this kind of cool stuff. So I think them getting the artist from Something to Killing His Children is perfect for this kind of story, this tone of a story. And yeah, I really dug the artwork. I don't know if this is an Elseworlds thing or a totally different lantern or what, just a new, different universe or whatever. I don't think it's like an absolute, it's not like an absolute green. Oh, it's an Elseworlds thing. That's, duh, it says it. But it looks cool. Really cool. I like the skin is slightly green too. So, I mean, so much horror is definitely in the zeitgeist of mainstream zeitgeist. So it seems to be injected in a lot. Maybe it's also because we're coming into the Halloween season. So that's probably why they released this book then too. So like there's this zombie stuff here. But it's cool, right? Kind of cool. Very moody and lots of shadows. Love these faces here. There's like a speed to the artwork. I don't know how to describe it. Like a quickness to the artwork. It's not like belabored and overly rendered. There's like it feels like the artist draws very quickly. And there's a delicacy to the line work. The colors are cool. Love it. Who's the colorist on this? Oh, I think they say at the end. But this is kind of cool. So yeah, I don't know what the story is. I'll let you guys know. But I'm in. I'm intrigued. You can see how in the brushwork and the ink work, it's like very, very quick, spindly lines. Almost reminds me of the artist that was on Void Rivals as well. But then there's this like dry brush shading going on here, like here. Adds a nice texture and a mood to the lighting there. I love that cloak, though. That cloak's cool. Okay, the colorist is Giovanna Nero. Don't know her. I'm reading this right now. So, John Cassidy. Some tributes to John Cassidy here. Here's Absolute Superman. I think this is coming out in a week or two. Who knows? This one was the least excited I was about this group between Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. And I'd say in general, if I had to, there's the best Superman right there. All-time best Superman. Christopher Reeve. I didn't even know they were coming out with this movie. Very cool. Green Lantern Dark, #1. I wish I could show you guys the variant cover. It wasn't as good. And it was more expensive. All right, what do we got here? They also cover philosophy, history, great literature, science, economics on the Lotus Eaters. Okay, it seems like it's a wide range. I'll check it out. Sean needs to drive one of the original Monsters cars. Would be pimp. Nice. You're a good dude to my brother. You are my brother, Shanthan Jetty. Like locking arms. We're doing this. The Politics of Demolition Man. Whoa, that's cool. Demolition Man is a movie I have not seen in forever. I should watch that. That is right there. And I've been meaning to watch RoboCop again recently. Love that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long time. John, no, Rocky said he didn't like chamomile. I made a chat on it. Yeah, I don't like chamomile. Hail, Cranberry Landers. Honor his legacy. Shanta's the best. You're all nice. How are you all nice now, emo trash? I get all the, like, mean comments. Hanging out with monkeys. Then Shant walks in here and all of a sudden, Shant is the best. That made the phone perfect, except that if I drop it, it's going to die. Yeah, I know. You got to just be careful. You're holding $1,000 in your hand. You got to be careful. I say that. Watch me drop my phone. I have not dropped my phone. I've never cracked my screen. So I have gotten like slight scratches on my screen, unfortunately, at times, but not on my current phone. But yeah. And my wife would always like get on my case because, you know, your kids would look at your phone. And when my kids were little, I never had a case. I never put a case on my phone. And they'd hold my phone and she was like, do you really want to trust them with that? And I'm like, I am not putting a case on my phone. I refuse. Those $1,000 smartphones break too easily without the covers. I know, but you gotta hold on to it. Fair enough. Go ahead and as long as if I see a Cybertruck wrapped with Joe's crab legs, I will give it a pass. I used my crappy $20 phones from TrackPhone with 1 hour of talk time for a decade. Nice. I love the upper two. Okay, wait. Oh, you guys are commenting on this cover, and it looks like Timmy Mella loved it. I love the upper. Random McRanderson said, I love the upper 2/3 of the cover, but the bottom third is hard to make out. Yeah, it's actually a lot sketchier too. Here, let me zoom in. It's like the zombies or whatever. Oh, hold on. I got to respond to that. Hang on a second. Sorry. I do need to respond to that. Wait, I'll leave it on the cover so you guys can see. Talk amongst yourselves. Hang on one second. Oh, sorry, that's twice. Twice I've had to respond on stream. But we'll see. I might have to end the stream. I mean, I'm almost done. But I might have to end the stream based on this text that came in. But yeah, this is like pretty sketchy here. I mean, it's quite small on page, but that's really cool. It's a cool design here. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the top third or top 2/3 is awesome. I can't believe that never seen this type of Green Lantern. I've never seen this type of Green Lantern. It's new. I think it's new. So yeah, it's a cool version. Really cool version. Mark's music obsession likes the colors in the book. Not a big fan of the art style. No problemo. To each their own. And to be honest, like when I was reading Something's Killing the Children, I wasn't too sold on the art style. Okay, I do need to go. Shoot. Okay, hang on a second. Let me just respond one more time. Okay, just getting clarification. But I might have to end this, which would be totally crazy because the last book I was gonna talk about was this one. And then if I have to end it, maybe I'll save it for next stream, which will happen soon enough. But you gotta go. You gotta go. Green, Bancroft would love it then. Elseworlds makes sense. Feels like a touch of Spectre. Yes, it does feel like the Spectre. Sorry. Okay, I do need to go. But let me get through the chat and then I'll talk about Absolute Wonder Woman in the next stream. Oh, my kid feels sorry. No problem. Let me tell her. Okay. Let me see. That's got to be Grundy. Yes. It does feel like Solomon Grundy, doesn't it? And I agree with Graham Nolan. What is a Bancroft? Sort of Ben Templesmith monsters. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You can win it. What? It's new. Yes, it's new. This is new. It just came out today. A lot of people interested in Christopher Reeve's documentary is What is a Bancroft? Jonathan is Dracula. Nice. Sean hasn't been avoiding me almost 3 days. Dang. I know, you guys. It's all love. It's all love, you guys. But yeah, emo is scary. I'm not late for something. I have to go. No. Remember, my wife, she's out of town, so we're good there. But I do have to help my child, my progeny. I must. She takes priority over you guys, unfortunately for you guys. Yes, see, emo trash, you are tracking it. Love it. That big elevated zombie on the top of the crowd there doesn't even look special. He's not given enough. He's not given enough real estate. Yeah, they should have recomposed that a little bit. It's cool though. This is cool. That eye is cool. All right. Who uses the regular? All my phones. my gosh, you guys are awesome. Life comes a ringing. Ciao. Everybody leaving. Come back at midnight. Oh, that's good. That's a good tone. Love it. Read. Faster. Congrats. By the way, Shantani, I learned I'm an uncle again today. Yes, so good. Congratulations. All right, you guys, I am going to run because I need to. I will save this one for next time. I will be streaming soon. Don't worry. Probably tomorrow. But I'll save this to start off the stream. It'll be the continuation. Save the best for last, maybe? I don't know. I haven't even looked through it, so I don't know if it's the best. But I will save that one. That'll make you guys come back. Please like. I know the stream. I know you guys. It's crazy. But like the stream. Thank you. All of you guys who are here. I appreciate it. It was super fun. Hope you enjoyed those books, and my crazy journey all over the stores today was insane. But I'll be in touch soon. Keep your eyes out. Keep your notifications on for whatever they do, because I will probably be streaming again very soon. If not today, then definitely. If not Thursday, then definitely Friday. But stay tuned. I think I could pull together a Thursday stream. So I gotta run. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a good Wednesday. Bye-bye.